Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friends are going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
And here we are. We are now live for the Wicked Horror Show, and that was just the ad for our sponsor, Deadly Grounds Coffee. And as always, now more than ever, we need to support indie artists and indie businesses. Deadly Grounds Coffee, they're a local coffee shop or a coffee brewery here in Connecticut, and a local nice mom and pop shop. But with us today, we have Kevin.
Hi, everybody.
Yo.
Hey, everybody.
Tony.
What is going on, people?
Tony, would you like to introduce our awesome guest this evening?
I sure will. Actually, hold on. My internet seems to be messing up.
Oh, internet.
It seems to. You might want to pass to someone else because my internet's messing up at the point.
Sure thing. And actually, I'll pass it to Kevin, but also wanted to mention that we have a shit ton of people watching right now. And that's because we have a new partnership with Hellfire Radio. So the Dorkening Podcast Network is now in partnership with the Hellfire Radio, and we're broadcasting to their page. So we welcome all Hellfire Radio listeners and watchers. And Kevin, would you like to introduce our guests?
Sure. So we're talking about a new movie that's going to be coming out called On Location, and we're joined by the director, Jeff Seemann, and Daniel John Kearney, who's a producer on the movie as well. And we know Daniel from all the cons and everything. And so, yeah, we go way back. And I think we're going to be joined by Felissa in a little bit when she it's good to hear.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about timing.
Hey. I love you guys.
That was crazy. Like, for real. That was just crazy timing. But anyways. So yeah, and Felissa is also a producer on location. So yeah, we're talking about the movie, and so I just want to start things off with well, first off, we've known Daniel for a while. How did you get involved? How did you start getting involved in movies with Felissa?
Oh man, so that's a long story, but she's the best. I love her. basically, I've gone to like a ton of different horror conventions, probably like 30 or 40 over the past 5-6 years, and Felissa and I just hit it off over all those years. And I looked at her one night at a party. I said, Felissa, I really want to get involved in this. I love it. And she looked at me. She's like, let's do it. So that's kind of basically how it blossomed. And this was about 1.5 years ago. And since then, we've gone on a lot of different adventures together. And it's continuing. And that's how I kind of got involved in independent horror. I love independent horror films. And especially it's just that the community, it's very loving. It's a wonderful place to be. And that's how I got involved. And she introduced me to Jeff. And Jeff got me involved in this amazing project, and he's here to tell you all about it. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome.
I'm grateful she introduced us.
Yay! Yay!
So, Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about the movie? I mean, it's a very interesting, idea for a movie, and I know you guys are doing an Indiegogo as well. We definitely want to make sure that we send people that way.
No, I want to talk about my love for Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
Well, of course, I want to talk about the movie. Okay, well, I mean, if your viewers are new to this, if they haven't read your post from earlier today, it's 6 friends start a business where they give guided tours to the world's most famous horror movie locations, and then they screen the movie at that location. And things are going really well until, I mean, it's a horror movie. You knew what was going to happen, right? Exactly what you think is going to happen. But it came about from, I'm one of those guys, and I'm betting that half of the people in this room right now, who you guys and watching, do the same thing. Go to where horror movies were made and take a tour. It just came from my love of that. I started off with a Blair Witch tour run by Matt Blasi. I went to the real Camp Crystal Lake. I've been to Hell House. I've been to the mall from Dawn of the Dead. It always made me wonder what would happen if I was at one of these places and the Blair Witch actually did show up. And I ran with it from there, and that's where On Location came from.
Nice. I just want to throw it out there. If you guys ever decide you really want to do that, I'm totally down. Like, I would be all over that. I'd go broke. But so, yes. So, Felissa, how did you get involved in this? Was this something that Jeff brought to you? Or did you bring this to Jeff, or how'd that all happen?
Oh, was that at me?
Yeah. Sorry.
I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't glitchy and had technical problems. I met Jeff through Damien Maffei, who's a producer and an actor in the film. We all love Damien. He's the devil in Haunt, and he's the stranger in Pray at Night.
Pray at Night, yeah.
Love Damien.
Yes, he's great.
And as soon as I met Jeff, I mean, Jeff is, one of the most lovable, amazing people you could ever meet. And we just hit it off, and I felt like I knew him forever. And when I read the script, I really knew I wanted to be involved because I love a unique story. He told me who he was casting. I mean, the cast is absolutely exceptional. Hannah Thierman, Cheney Morrow, Elsie Holt. They're just outrageously talented. And, so you always look at the script and the team and wanting to spend time with them because usually, you're involved in a horror movie for quite a while, even from, pre-production, then you make the movie and then post. So I just love when I fall in love with the whole group. And that's exactly what happened here.
Thank you.
Nice. Tony, how's your internet?
It seems like it's kind of coming back up, but right from the beginning, it looked like everything was off. So,
oh yeah,
but
always good.
But before the show, we were talking, and I think I talked to Daniel, and I think with the surgence of, well, I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing with the pandemic. Not a lot of movies are getting made. But in this time, Shudder's becoming more popular. So I think, in essence, indie film is going to become more popular just because, you don't have the big budget films to go into the theaters to see. So now you're going on Shudder and you're seeing there are other movies out there besides the big office ones. So people, I think, are clamoring for more independent stuff. So out of this, I think, now that you're at least able to film a little bit more. They're going to be waiting for, probably in the beginning of next year, probably a lot of films to pop up. So,
absolutely,
I agree.
Matt,
go
ahead, you.
I just had a weird thought. Do you think that this means that more studios are going to be looking for more independent directors to like buy their movies, for distribution, things like that?
Dear God, I hope so.
I hope so too, because I mean, I think it's awesome. I worry about them trying to get their hands into it, but as long as they allow them to, do their thing, I think that would be an awesome thing to happen.
I think when you see that there's going to be very few studio films coming out until late 2021, I think you're going to see a push sometime around February to start buying up things. Indie film's always been prevalent. It's just not been recognized by anybody that isn't, say, a fan of this podcast. Indie film doesn't get the trailers on TV. You have to search for them. You started with Blair Witch Project. That got some push, but it's very rare. And I think that once the studios realize, we don't have a lot of stuff to put out there, they're going to start scarfing up some stuff. And I think our timing might be good on this, but that's not why I made the film. But it, wouldn't hurt to make some money off of it too, I guess.
Look at drive-in theaters. Drive-in theaters right now are taking a lot of independent films.
Yep.
And that's just marvelous for people like us who are making them. And they, can be taken immediately right into a drive-in for the consumption of, the audiences all over the country, rather than just them being the mainstream big budget film. So definitely we'll see an effect for sure.
Yes. And I mean, unfortunately, most of us live in an area where drive-ins are closing down because it's getting cold. But, I'll go. If they open in the winter, I'd be down. I'd just wear an extra pair of pants. I don't know how that works. But
I'll put the heat on. You're in the car.
That's true. Good point. Good point. I also have an old car, so it probably won't make it out, but that's okay. Someone actually commented that independent movies have the best concepts, and I agree 100%. We've said this a billion times. Like, all the original stuff is coming from independent films that I've seen lately, and then most of the Hollywood stuff is just revamped something else. So I agree with that comment. Whoever that was somebody in Facebook. But yeah. So where are you guys at in the process? Like, have you started doing actual filming of this, or is it just are you holding back because of everything that's going on with the COVID?
We wrapped filming last Friday.
Okay.
17 days of shooting in Cincinnati and Southern Indiana, and 0 positive COVID tests. We tested. Thank you. We tested twice a week, every single person, cast and crew, twice a week. No negative tests. Contact tracing tests happened this week. Haven't heard the results of any of those. And well, frankly, the contact tracing ones, the only people that they have to give the results to are the health department. But we heard nothing. So we survived it, and now it's on to editing, and then it's on to distribution, and wow, and then I hope it's on to theaters, but we shall see. You want to see a little of it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Leo, is this a good time?
Now is a perfect time. I was going to ask you.
All right. We put this on our Indiegogo page, and we'll push out that address for the Indiegogo, but we have a rough cut of a very early scene. This is the exposition scene where you get to meet your characters and you get to hear about Terror Trips, the company that one of our lead characters is the founder of, and really that's all I need to say. But I want to point out, rough cut. We're still toying with the audio. We're gonna chop it up a little bit, but this will give you a good look into it. So whenever you're ready, play that baby.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are spending the weekend at the Camp Crystal Lake.
That's fucking cool.
Oh,
Wow.
the camp from Friday the 13th.
Yes. Tonight.
I had no idea that place even existed.
It exists. It's still a Boy Scout camp, kids and everything. Actually, the local police have to patrol the area to keep people out, but it's closed for the season, so I rented it.
That's amazing.
Thanks. But there's a catch.
Uh-huh. What do you mean?
I'm starting a new business. It's called Terror Trips. We give guided tours of the locations where they filmed the most iconic horror films, the classics. Then, after dark, we screen the movie at that location.
So it's like an interactive drive-in. Fucking love it.
I knew you would, buddy.
What's the catch?
I'm using you guys. I need you to be my pilot program, my guinea pigs. Check the place out, see if it's worth the price of admission. I got a few other places lined up, and so if it checks out, we'll launch it as a new Terror Trips destination. So, you guys in?
You know, I think I speak for everyone when I say, fuck yes!
All right.
Yes. Now, dude, you've had a lot of good ideas. I think this might be the best one yet.
Well, thanks, but I can't take full credit. This idea actually belongs to my new business partner, George, who should be here any minute now. Hey, right on time.
Hey.
How's it going?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Everyone, I want you to meet my business partner, George.
I hope it's cool if I tag along.
Sure.
George? George? Short for Georgia. Georgia.
All right, introduction time.
Yes.
That's Eli. He's into the weird, vicious shit that most people can only watch one time. And then we have Jenny.
Hi.
Molly. They're both into body horror.
Hi, George. Like Cronenberg films? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay.
And finally, we have Ed. Ed loves everything horror, but we think something bad happened to him in the woods. You'll see.
It is so great to meet all of you. I'm into zombie flicks, the older stuff, obviously, and I have a real special love for Joe Lynch films. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
All right, enough. Let's go. RV's in the parking lot. We got beer, wine, tequila, vodka, fridge full of food. So grab your gear and we'll head for Camp Blood.
Yes! Oh, yes!
Yeah.
How are you?
You ready for
Doing
it?
it.
Yeah, we're doing it. Oh my God.
So ready.
Let's go. Thank you, George.
Welcome. For you.
And there we go. On location, the Indiegogo information is in the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And as always, we love supporting indie filmmakers. And if you are just joining us, we do have a sponsor that supports the network, Deadly Grounds Coffee. And here is Deadly Grounds Coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds Coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Kevin, you any better? No.
No, I mean, not really, but I just want to bring up one thing real quick now that the Deadly Grounds ad is off. If you go to secretundergroundhideout.com and watch our Halloween special, there is a secret discount code for 10% off Deadly Grounds coffee in the special. So go over there and check that out and get 10% off.
Sweet.
So are you guys ready to trademark the whole, terror tours and whatever? Because now you can probably get a whole bunch of people that want to have like a party bus gone to these locations.
Well, it's funny because there's a couple of those locations that run their own tours already. The Friday the 13th place is actually run by Crystal Lake Tours. I've been on that one a few times, and it might be the best tour of a location I've ever seen. It looks exactly the same. The counselors for the Boy Scout camp, because it is actually a Boy Scout camp, run the tours, and they do it for free to raise money to keep the Boy Scout camp going. But the rest of them, yeah, I can see us doing something like that. I can't imagine figuring out how to start a business. But it sure was fun as hell making a movie about starting a business. Little hint for your viewers out there, you could go to terrortrips.com right now and see for yourself. The website's not ready, but go ahead and take a look. We do provide ways to pay for those tours, but trust me, if you click that PayPal link, it doesn't go anywhere. We're not taking your money. Well, go look at terrortrips.com and see for yourself what this movie is going to be having as a little bit of a backstory.
Nice. Now, have you? How many different locations did you guys include in the movie?
COVID made things a little difficult for us, so we did a quick whirlwind tour to shoot video at Burkittsville, Maryland, Blairstown, New Jersey for Friday the 13th, Monroeville Mall for Dawn of the Dead, and Lee Heights in Pennsylvania for Hell House LLC. I also stopped by the cemetery from Night of the Living Dead. I figured that one was too on the nose. Everybody goes there, so
Yeah.
I went for the other four.
You didn't try to figure out a sleepaway camp one or something.
Felissa would have killed me if I didn't put that in the movie. I think Felissa loves movies, but that is hers.
But still, I mean, so Felissa, you weren't in the movie, right? Are you in the movie?
No, I'm not in the movie. I'm just on the producing side, and I'm thrilled because I really love that position. And I actually was there when they were filming that scene that we just watched. And as you can tell, these are just an amazing group of people who have that kind of sparkle and love what they do. So it was really a joy to watch them work. And I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to Diane for getting involved. I'm grateful to Jeff. And I have to take off because I have to go I'm working with Joe Bob on a new drive-in haunt.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So I love you
Very
guys.
cool.
Thank you for
Well,
having
we'll
me.
be looking out for that. Yeah, it's awesome to see you again, and hopefully the con come back around so we can see you again in
Good
person.
having you on.
Bye.
Hey,
Mike, the Dorkning.
Thanks,
I love
Melissa.
all of you.
Bye, love.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
See you later.
Bye.
Hey, well, Felissa, wow, you guys brought that up. Felissa is actually doing a convention in Indianapolis on Halloween. It's the 30th, 31st, and 1st. It's called Days of the Dead in Indianapolis. And not only will Felissa be there, but I'll be there too, side by side with her, trying to push this movie as well.
That's awesome. So, are they doing it differently? How are they keeping everyone distant?
The hotel that they're doing has some very strict guidelines, and some photos leaked out of a previous Days of the Dead convention, and it made them look really bad. But really, from every person that I've heard of, it was a well-run, safe environment. And Days took a hit because everybody wants to be mad about something. And if you're anywhere near Indianapolis, go give it a look. You'll see hand washing stations and sanitizer and mask mandates. And really, that's what you need to do to survive this thing.
Yeah.
Not stay in rooms with people constantly with your mask off. So
Right.
they did it.
Well, if anything, I would think that horror fans would just find the coolest ways to wear a mask anyways. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. I'd be kind of. It's like a mission to outcool somebody with a mask.
Exactly.
By the way, Angelina Deaking is watching. She says, "Good morning, everyone." And Angela, where are you watching from? If it's morning,
Well, maybe she's a vampire, and this is her morning.
maybe that could be.
Never thought of that, did you? So was there any locations that you guys wanted to figure out? But and another thing too is how do you legally work those into play? Is it something? Yeah, how does that work?
He works the magic.
Great question, actually. You have to ask. That's the key. Hell House LLC, the woman, it's actually a real haunted house, the type that you walk through in October, not ghosts actually there. Mm-hmm. And the woman who owns that gave us permission to go inside and film there. And the owners of the creators of the film were all about it. Dawn of the Dead, the mall required a licensing fee, but once we paid the licensing fee, we could shoot and do anything we wanted in there. Burkittsville is just a town. We asked permission. They said, don't go in the cemetery. And that was it. And Friday the 13th was a whole nother mess, mainly because of the lawsuit going on between Victor Miller and is it Paramount or Lionsgate? But Camp Nobi Bosco, that's a different thing. You've got to ask permission. However, we didn't need permission to talk about Camp Nobi Bosco in the film because we're representing them for what they actually are, a Boy Scout camp that occasionally closes down and allows people to come in to get a tour from Crystal Lake Tours. if you represent a place for what it actually is, there's a fair use statute that comes in through copyright. And as long as you're not, there's a scene in the movie where, and I'm making this up. There's a scene in the movie where you're supposed to use a specific cell phone, and the cell phone's a giant piece of shit. If you say, my iPhone isn't working, well, Apple's going to have words with you about it. So you just have to make them look exactly like they were intended to be marketed.
Yeah, makes sense. And I mean, I would just assume that, like, all right, we have to figure out new ways to pull off all of this stuff. So it seems like you figured it out. And the one question I have is, in the mall, did you happen to have a pie fight? Like in the mall?
I think the cleanup would have been a mess there. They did let us in the boiler.
Huh.
And on the roof, which apparently they don't let many people on the roof, but you pay that kind of money, they let you go.
We're not going to, okay, you're paying that, all right, you can go up.
Yeah. Right up there.
Wait, you were right downstairs in the boiler?
Yes.
You guys were right in the boiler? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Kelly
That is
Rod
awesome.
let us in. It was quite a trip down there. I'll send you pictures.
Please, that is awesome.
I was going to ask if Daniel actually was on set a bunch. Like, were you able to be on set much, Daniel?
So the thing is, I had a lot of time spent put aside, a lot of trip time set aside, and Jeff can tell you it was devastational. COVID just wrecked the whole thing. It made it very difficult. During the times of the filming, COVID hit, and just we had to have like really limited amount of people that could be on set, and then as well as the state that I live in and that some of you live in, there was mandates put in place for travel restrictions and stuff. So it wasn't feasible, but it was difficult. But everybody made it happen. I wish I could have been there, especially for the Dawn of the Dead Mall. That would have been a dream come true.
Now, something that we haven't mentioned, this film was supposed to start shooting on March 23rd.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but a virus hit in March. We actually had to shut down production 10 days before we were supposed to start shooting and just shut it all down. And it was heartbreaking for everybody. Dan was supposed to be there. I believe he was going to come in the 23rd through the 29th, stay a week. And then when we relaunched it in September, September 10th was our first day. We were pretty much, we were supposed to have a big bar scene. The scene that you just saw was supposed to have like 30 people background. And we ended up putting 4 people background because we didn't think it was really a wise decision to put more people in a small area. Even though we were outdoors for that, we limited the number of people, and that really helped us get through it. Almost all exterior scenes, masked and social distance when not on cameras. That's how we survived it. And I think if we'd done it any other way, we wouldn't have got through it.
Yep, it was the best decision. Yep, safest way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that stinks. I mean, we've heard that from a few directors where it's just really kind of just, like really just shut everything down, and they're trying to figure out a way to get things going again. But I mean, it seems like you got it figured out. Although it was multiple months afterwards, but that's good. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
I should mention we got lucky, but we made our own luck in this one as well. It had some indoor scenes. We just figured out a way to write them outdoors. We hired a crew and a cast that understood the social concept of keeping each other safe. And we tested each other as much as we possibly could. You can't be stupid and make a film and expect to survive it. And I think that, we did get a little bit lucky, but we also knew what the heck we were doing. In April, we wouldn't have survived it because nobody really knew enough about the virus. We know enough now to know how to survive and to avoid getting it. We were smart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Leo, you wanted to say something?
What did I want to say?
I think it was the one who said good morning. She's outside of somewhere in the UK.
Angelina's joining us from the UK, which is awesome. A lot of new watchers this evening. And also, the reason why we got a bunch of people watching is we are now partnered with Hellfire Radio, and they have an awesome show on Sundays, Sinner Sundays. Here we go.
everybody? I'm Diggs.
And I'm Ashley, and we're from Hell Entertainment
Join us for Sinner Sundays from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
on Hellfire Radio.
And if you've been seeing the little scrolling information on the bottom there, if you're interested in supporting On Location, there's a bunch of information down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. They have an Indiegogo, which ends in 25 days. So if you love supporting indie films like we do, definitely check them out. Throw them a couple bucks and, help them put this movie together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How much are you trying to raise on the Indiegogo? Sorry, Tony.
No, that's fine.
How much are you, what is your goal with Indiegogo?
We didn't really want to do an Indiegogo, to be honest, because we had raised the money that we needed to shoot the film. And then when we saw that COVID hit and we had to add days to it and we had to get hand sanitizer and extra toilet paper and paper towels and masks for everybody, raised our costs, and rent equipment for 2 more days, raised our costs by about $11,000. And so that's what our goal is. We could have shot this movie, if not for the pandemic, for what we had already raised. So this is what's called our finishing funds. And really, to be honest, it's just to pay off the debt that we incurred while shooting the film. Everybody's been paid, actors, talent, everybody except the post-production guy who is currently doing his work right now. And it's just to pick up our debt for it. It's something we didn't want to do because we see a lot of horror films reaching out to the horror community to raise money online, and these films are just as deserving as something that shot something as beautiful as you just saw. But this is one that we're just out of investors, so we needed to reach out to the community and see if they could help us out.
Nice. So yeah, go check it out for sure. Tony, you were saying
People have been wonderful, really kind, and just really supporting us, and really just doing so much, and we're so thankful for it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things I wanted to bring up is I know, every movie is different and whatever, but with this pandemic, does it make it, having to go through it this way, does it make it, for anything crazy in the future that might happen, does it make it a little bit easier, knowing you can get through this with all the regulations or whatever? Like, I'm sure you learn something new from every movie you do with, certain things that pop up out of nowhere. But does having something as serious as this and being able to make a movie, does it, now you can do something, does it make it a little bit easier maybe the next time? Now what you can and can't do, kind of deal? I don't know if that came off right, but
no, it did. And this is going to sound a little bit self-serving and possibly a little arrogant, and I'm okay with that. We learned something. We learned to not be fucking stupid. And we weren't stupid, but we saw, a film like what was The Batman. It's a studio film and they're shooting on sound stages, and no matter how many times you test, if you're breathing the same recycled air, someone's going to catch something. You've got to be smart about it. We just readapted everything that we had. We have a scene, and I got to be very careful so I don't give any spoilers out. We shot in a garage, and something happens in this garage repeatedly. And it's supposed to take place in the back corner. We just opened the garage doors up to allow ventilation, and then never pointed cameras that way to allow us the secrecy of an enclosed room, but it really wasn't an enclosed room. The fourth wall didn't exist. You got to be smart about things. You've got to make sure. And I need to send a serious shout out. Anybody that was on the set will know the love for Hannibal Farrell, our executive producer on this film. That woman, she's like 4'11", 105 pounds, and she terrifies everybody because she was going around all day long, masks up, socially distanced, calling for hand sanitizer breaks every 90 minutes. You have somebody that genuinely cares and makes sure that the film is pulled off right. You adapt the script to have as many outside scenes as possible, cut out background, and just be smart. You're going to get through it. I promise you're going to get through it. Those first tests are key. Anybody that shows up positive with your first test, don't let them on set. That causes some real concern up front because oh shit, what if Hannah Fearman shows up to set and she has a positive test? what do you do? So that first test is all important. We got lucky with our first test, and every other test after that was because we planned it right.
How many tests did you have to give throughout the whole the whole process? It seems like it would be a lot.
257 tests, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's everybody went and nobody complained. Now, we didn't have a testing facility on location. See what I did there? Everybody had to drive a half an hour to the Dearborn County Health Department where they set up free anterior tests for us. And so everybody's driving, then they come to set, and we had a schedule worked out. A through M went on Mondays and Thursdays. N through Z went on Tuesdays and Fridays. And everybody made it. Nobody complained, and we got through it. It was a remarkable effort by everyone, from the unpaid PA who was there to learn for college experience to the executive producer. They all knew the seriousness of it, and it was awesome.
Nice. Now, I mean, like, Daniel, was this your first film that you've been producer on? And if so, I just can't imagine it being a little bit more easy down the road. You know, hopefully the pandemic is over soon enough. But is this the first film that you've been producer on?
So this was it kind of all happened at once. Like I said, with Felissa, we became really good friends over the years, and then I had all these things lined up and going, and so this was the first one I actually signed on to do. I was so excited to be a part of, but because of this, I've also signed on to do a couple others. So I have like 3 or 4 others that I'm now involved with that I'm really excited about, and it's going to be in this. They're all filming in this COVID era. So to everything that Jeff spoke of, it's exactly what everybody's doing. And it's crazy times, but everybody's making the best of it. And there's great product. Great things are coming of it. Great things are happening. But to answer your question, yes, this was the first that I had signed on to do back last March. And I was so excited to do it.
It's a strange experience, I guess. Like this is your first big one. You're like, oh, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, there's a pandemic and you can't go. So
it was, I just got to say it one last time. It was a bitter pill to swallow. I'll tell you that much, because I was ready to go in like 4 days. I had to cancel it 5 days before, and Jeff and I were communicating every day, and everything happened. But everything happens for a reason. I can't explain it enough. Jeff is a wonderful, wonderful person, and he understood, and we all understood, and everybody's safety was number one. Nothing was more important than that, and that's how all this independent horror is going to continue happening. It's just everything's going to be touch and go, but everybody makes it happen.
You come to the premiere.
I'll be there. I'll be there no matter what. No matter what.
Even if you have to get a fake ID and say you're from that state, you're just going to go.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have a little less than 15 minutes left. Jeff, we're going to run the teaser you sent us again for those that are just joining us. Would you like to introduce it?
This is a rough cut of an early scene in the film. The guy that's standing up, his character's name is Dan, and he's starting a new business called Terror Trips. And this is he's introducing his friends to this new business and trying to sell them on the idea of giving guided tours of the world's most famous horror locations. Rough cut here, so we still have to add the music and a little bit of ambient noise. So please go right ahead.
Sounds good. And the Indiegogo ends at the end of the month. You can find a link in the show notes. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are spending the weekend at the Camp Crystal Lake.
That's fucking cool.
Wow. The camp from Friday the 13th.
Yes. Tonight.
I had no idea that place even existed.
It exists. It's still a Boy Scout camp, kids and everything. Actually, the local police have to patrol the area to keep people out, but it's closed for the season, so I rented it.
That's amazing.
Thanks. But there's a catch.
Uh-huh. What do you mean?
I'm starting a new business. It's called Terror Trips. We give guided tours of the locations where they filmed the most iconic horror films, the classics. Then, after dark, we screen the movie at that location.
So it's like an interactive drive-in. Fucking love it.
I knew you would, buddy.
What's the catch?
I'm using you guys. I need you to be my pilot program, my guinea pigs. Check the place out, see if it's worth the price of admission. I got a few other places lined up, and so if it checks out, we'll launch it as a new Terror Trips destination. So, you guys in?
You know, I think I speak for everyone when I say, fuck yes.
All right.
Yes. Now, dude, you've had a lot of good ideas. I think this might be the best one yet.
Well, thanks, but I can't take full credit. This idea actually belongs to my new business partner, George, who should be here any minute now. Hey, right on time.
Hey.
How's it going?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Everyone, I want you to meet my business partner, George.
I hope it's cool if I tag along.
Sure.
George? George?
Short for Georgia.
Georgia.
All right, introduction time.
Yes.
That's Eli. He's into the weird, vicious shit that most people can only watch one time. And then we have Jenny.
Hi.
Molly. They're both into body horror.
Hi, George.
Like Cronenberg films?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay.
And finally, we have Ed. Ed loves everything horror, but we think something bad happened to him in the woods. You'll see.
It is so great to meet all of you. I'm into zombie flicks, the older stuff, obviously, and I have a real special love for Joe Lynch films.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, enough. Let's go. RV's in the parking lot. We got beer, wine, tequila, vodka, fridge full of food. So grab your gear and we'll head for Camp Blood.
Yes! Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Amen. How are you?
You ready for
Doing
this?
it.
Yeah, we're doing it. Oh my God.
So ready.
Let's go. Thank you, George.
Welcome.
You.
For you.
And there we go. You can find information in the show notes down below or up above for their Indiegogo, which ends at the end of the month. And just a little shameless plug. Tomorrow we're going to be talking with Bob Anderson from Bob After Dark, the radio show. So make sure you join us there. Yo-Yo will be there, right, Yo-Yo?
Nice.
So
now, Jeff, you want to speak a little bit about the cast that you have?
I do. Thank you. Fans of the horror genre might recognize a few people, but I'm not so sure. The blonde playing Ginny, that's
VHS.
That's Hannah Sherman from VHS, and I actually convinced her to tell me that she likes me at the wrap party, which was
That's awesome. That's amazing. I would have been like, just say you like me a lot. Just say it, and then I would be escorted off the set and whatever.
I made a strong effort not to put those 3 words into the script because it was too obvious.
As long as their face doesn't open up. And...
Oh my God. She was the best part of that movie. That movie wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad, but I was just like, that's the one that stuck with me. That scene stuck with me. Phenomenal.
Good. And speaking of VHS 2, the guy that bumped fists with George, that's Ed, played by Elsie Holt. He was in VHS 2. He's the guy that I don't want to give a spoiler away. He was also in Your Next. He played Lamb Mask in Your Next. And the dude is an amazing actor. Just chill when you meet him, but turn a camera on and the dude's on fire. Across, sitting next to Ginny, the one who's into the weird, vicious shit. And you get it, his name's Eli, and he's into weird, vicious shit, so you know who he was named after, Eli Roth. But that's Cheney Morrow. And Cheney Morrow, he's in The New Wrong Turn. He's in Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo, but he played Ghost in the movie Haunt. Mitch, the guy who had the keys and was trying to help them, but then, he really wasn't. Cheney might be the best actor I've ever worked with. He's just phenomenal. And he was such a pleasure to work with, and I love the guy, and I already miss him. But the other 3 also I want to include. Ronnie Locke, girl with the purple hair playing Molly. Mike Blaney, who plays Dan, was standing up. And then the girl who walked in, George. That is Abby Esmena, and you're going to hear a lot from her. That all 6 of them are such likable characters and lovable human beings. I guess when they all left set, there was some trouble getting out of the house because they just did not want to leave each other. They got to perform really well for 4 straight weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we had so many people on that. You can tell when everybody likes each other because the movies, especially like indie stuff, it just flows. Yep. Sometimes you can just tell that some actors are there just for a paycheck, and it doesn't seem like they mesh. But a lot of the movies that you see that everybody likes each other, you can tell a good set, I guess, from a bad set, because sometimes you watch and like it just doesn't flow. But then other movies, especially indie movies, you can watch and you're like, it just flows right. It flows great. So,
and
can't wait to see it.
Also, I think it's kind of fun that Hannah Fearman has killed people in her movie. Janie Morrow has killed people in his movies. Elsie Holt has killed people in his movies, and they're playing good guys in my movie. That was a real drawing point for all of them, I'm told. And Damien Maffei was originally supposed to play George, but COVID hit his area a little bit hard. His wife is a nurse, and he has 3 small kids. And as one of those, he couldn't leave the kids for 3 straight weeks. So he dropped out of the lead role, and we put him in a different role where he only had to come out for a few days. And having him on set was such a treat. And again, a guy that's played a killer is in the movie, and he doesn't kill anybody. It's not really a spoiler, but it was weird having that. And then you've got Felissa Rose, who has killed people, and she's producing. Man, I've got some horror icons in this film, and I didn't let him kill anybody.
Yeah. That's good though. I mean, it's and the one thing too. Like I know Damien right now is raising money for one of his own projects that he's working on as well. And I've seen Damien in a bunch of stuff, but I've always seen him with a mask on, and I don't really see much of him. And he can act his balls off. I just want to be able to see more of that. I want to see more of it because I was like, isn't that little like the thing where he's trying to raise money? I'm like, God damn it! Like this dude, I'm sold. Like. I just want to see more of it. Like he's just so good. But yeah.
I worked with Damien on Strangers. I worked with Damien on Haunt, and I worked with Damien on Wrong Turn, The Foundation, which is supposed to come out soon, but I don't have a date for that one yet. And I gave him the script for On Location while he was working Wrong Turn. And within days, he got back to me. He had gone home to read it, and within days, he got back to me. He's like, we got to get Felissa on this. We got to get Hannah on this. I got a guy that can play Ed named Elsie Holt. Just started pulling in stuff. And then when he couldn't make the film, he still stood strong with all the support. It wasn't about him and this role that he could play. It was about, this is a good movie. I want to make it happen. And no matter what role I get, I want to help. And he's a great dude, despite the image that he likes to portray when he's doing video podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, like you said, you have, characters doing something different than they're usually known for. Like we were talking about Kane Hodder before, and, when he's usually, known as the, Jason Voorhees, where he doesn't talk, and some of these other roles, it's like, okay, seeing people doing something different than they're used to, it's a different experience, and it's fun because you're so used to, okay, well, this person, I'm so used to them killing, now they're the victim or something along those lines. It's like I like seeing a different side of it.
I'm sure the actors and actresses don't want to be typecast completely. They want to be able to do other stuff. So it's awesome to have give them that opportunity.
While they were on set, something else that really helped them develop well as characters, I told them all, here's point A. I want you to get to point B. If you have a different way to get there, tell me. And Elsie Holt was the first one to step forward. I don't really think my character would say this. Can I change the line? Hell yes, you can. As long as you get from where I want you to get in this scene, talk to me about what you think your character would. And every single one of them came forward with ideas. And I really only think I shot a couple of them down because it didn't mesh with what I believed. But if you want to be a good director, let actors make you look better. And those actors have been studying those lines individually. They know what's best. I wrote all of the characters. I got 14 of them up here. it muddles together at some point. But Hannah Fearman was only reading Ginny. He knows better what Ginny would want to do. So we talk about it, and I let him adapt it. And boy, it came through really well. Those great actors made me look better as a director because this is my first direction. I'm not that good yet, but they made me look good.
Nice. Now, you have like an idea of I know you're still going through the whole like post-production stuff, but do you have like a plan as far as like when you're hoping to get this released?
I'd like to see it released in April. That's pretty quick, but it also will coincide with nothing. There's not much that is ready to be released. Usually takes 9 to 12 months, and nothing was being shot last April. So we might be one of the few films that gets released if we can do it in April. But if it's ready, we'll do it then. And if it's not ready, we will not do it. It's got to be ready before we release it. But we're pushing.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what everybody was talking about too. There's going to be such a hunger, a thirst for all sorts of content, and independent horror is going to be able to deliver that content definitely, because I mean we're the only ones that are taking care of business right now. It's going to be a big boom. I really think it's going to be a big boom.
Thank you, Dan.
So. I really hope so. And I'm hoping too, like it's going to give like more opportunity. Like we've mentioned Shudder a bunch. They tend to get like some really just great stuff, and it's really cool to see some of these like really cool projects maybe go that direction. But do you think that you guys going to be shooting for a physical release as well, or you think it's just going to be streaming or maybe theatrical?
I'd like both. We're going to have at least a limited release of the Blu-ray. If we don't sell it physical, we will have copies. It's a perk on our Indiegogo to definitely have copies, which will include director's commentary and some behind-the-scenes stuff. So I want the physical release. I just need a vendor that's not going to rake us through the coals like Amazon would. No offense, Amazon, but you don't pay your providers enough.
Right. We've actually heard that quite a bit.
We've been hearing a lot of good things from Tubi. Apparently, their payment model is quite good.
I wouldn't mind going Tubi and Shudder for my streaming, but we have a couple of distribution offers already, and one of them includes foreign theaters.
Oh, nice.
Right? I mean, the movie is supposed to take place in Poland, and some of our characters speak Russian. That's all I'm going to give you. I'm thinking maybe we should be able to show in Poland and Russia at least, but we'll talk to our foreign sales agent and see what he says.
Nice.
Or
that'd be awesome. Maybe one day I'll feel safe enough to go to a theater out here and I can see a cool movie. But I'm not there yet.
Hopefully by April.
Yeah, hopefully. Not there yet though. They are open. My wife talks me out of going to them all the time. But anyways.
So Angelina was asking, what is the film called, please? I missed that at the start of the show. It's called On Location. And there's an Indiegogo in the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And you got the poster there, Jeff?
I do. That's an autographed poster, which we actually have for sale on our Indiegogo. God, I can't hold my computer straight. Yeah, autographed by the entire cast and Felissa Rose.
Nice.
That's one of the things that, especially doing Indiegogos, there's only, especially certain perks. Being a collector myself, I always try to get those, limited editions or the signatures because, especially nowadays, you guys were talking about not having cons anymore. So that might be one of the best ways to get, and sometimes if you want.
There was like a perk where you can get the Blu-ray. I'm like, Tony's all over that. As soon as he said that, like, Tony will be one of them.
And next week there might be something special from Slumber Party Massacre. There might be something next week special.
One moment.
Oh! Go ahead. Go ahead. Release the info. I'm good with this.
Uh oh.
Dan is submitting
one of my prized possessions, but I got to do it.
Oh wow!
Still in the box. We're gonna be putting that one up as a perk.
Wow.
Mint condition. It's going up. It's going to be a good perk. I mean, it's literally mint condition. I keep it in perfect condition along with all the other things that I have. My memorabilia room. Someday I hope to show you guys, but this is going up and this is up. So if anybody wants it, please comment on this or hit up the Indiegogo or ask Jeff and I will, it's coming up. So we're doing everything we can. It's going to be an amazing film. So it's going up.
I'll make an announcement before we release that one so everybody has a fair shot at getting it.
Yeah. I've never even seen that before. Like, where did you even find that?
So I don't know how many it was limited to, but it was extremely limited. It was limited to the when they released the Steelbook for Slumber Party Massacre last summer, which is classic all-time slasher. This was limited to it, and as soon as it went up, I got it, and I was able to get it. Boom. They released two. There's one for the Tom Atkins, and then there's this for Slumber Party Massacre. But I was only able to get a hold of this one, and man, it is awesome. Russ Thorne, the best.
And I know you're running out of time, but also before the Indiegogo's done, we're going to have a electric guitar from the Talking Dead, emblazoned with the Talking Dead logo on it. So Walking Dead and Talking Dead fans might want to jump on that one. An actual limited edition electric guitar.
Wow, how'd you get that?
Awesome.
Carol Ann Van Natten, who plays one of our characters, a really fun actress from LA. She plays Anna. She has it, and she said, "Here, would you like to put this?" It's my heart pours out to her for that, as does for you, Dan. Thank you.
Wow, that's really
cool.
Of
Of course.
Tony's gonna go broke. I'm saying.
It is awesome.
Look at that, Tony. That could be at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, where do I send my paycheck?
First, I gotta live with my parents.
No.
Oh yeah. So it's just about that time. We want to do the rundown.
Certainly. So if you're if you're interested in learning more about On Location, check the show notes down below or up above. There's at the time of tonight's broadcast, you have about 25 days left till the Indiegogo ends, and we love supporting indie filmmakers and indie businesses as well. And so definitely check that out. And let's see. Let's start with Jeff. Where do you like people following and interacting with you?
My Instagram page is On Location Movie, or you can find me personally at Jeff LRB. Let's roll, boys. Let's just say that's what where it doesn't. On Facebook, On Location Movie, and Twitter, On Location Movie. Actually, I think Twitter is Jeff from Ohio, but I'd have to look because I changed it recently. But Instagram and Facebook are the ones that I get the most engagement from.
Awesome. Daniel, same question.
The best place to reach me is definitely on Instagram, and that's DJK horror_historian, and you could send me a message anytime or anything you like. So again, that's DJK horror_historian. I'm always around, and we appreciate all the support. That's the best place to reach me.
Nice.
Yo.
Boy Meets Phone on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Yo Saint Laurent on those same social media channels. And of course, you can find me here. Tony?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews and unboxings and all this stuff for my collection. Right now, I'm doing the 31 Days Happy October series, where I'm doing a horror movie review for the entire month of October, and I tend to do more indie films. You have Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And, of course, here most Tuesdays on the Wicked Horror Show. Kevin?
A-Knuckle on Twitter and Instagram every Tuesday here. I'm also doing reviews with the 13th Wolfman. And I'm part of Secret Underground Hideout and Black and White Fright, all of which are on the network. And we have a Halloween special right now over on secretundergroundhideout.com. And go check that out for the whole month of October. You can get 10% off your order at Deadly Ground Coffee.
And of course, there's... That was me. Sorry.
It's okay. Leo.
Yeah. And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. But I urge you definitely support our awesome guests and co-hosts here. And for me, just go to thedorkening.com, which you can find all the shows on the network. 30 shows on the network, which is crazy. And look for some awesome stuff coming up soon with some more information with us and Hellfire Radio. And definitely check them out as well. Links are in the show notes. And I want to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Let us know when we're clear.